Good afternoon and welcome to Pueblo, Colorado for the 22nd annual Joe Santos Memorial Fastball Tournament. Today's matchup we have the Tomahawks against Wanis Roofing, and that ball gets by the third baseman Xavier Gallegos, and TJ Andrevine makes his way to second base. So the Tomahawks start off quickly. First pitch. This is the 57-year-old Juan Damian Bravo, who is playing in his, how many did he say? 15th or 16th Joe Santos tournament. I appreciate all those years he's taken the time to come and support this wonderful tournament in memory of Joe Santos, and not forgetting the matriarch of the family, Miss Fran Santos, who we lost late last year. So Juan Damian Bravo shows bunt, slaps it to the pitcher who gets him out at first. So we have a fielder's choice that moves TJ over to third base.
He's finally playing on a good team. The last 2 years have been really bad teams. Really bad.
So TJ Andrevine on third base. We have one out. Carlos Valverde, the pitcher. Chris Gutierrez is his catcher. That one comes in a bit inside to Bud Pino.
Oh, that's fair. Ooh,
And that's deep off the fence. That brings in TJ Andrevine. Bud Pino with the stand-up double.
that really traveled.
Tomahawks out of Sayato, New Mexico, Navajo Nation. This team has been together for 7 years. Ball catches the outside corner for Valverde.
Oh,
It's inside. Might be hard to see the jerseys, but their jerseys pay tribute to the Navajo Code Talkers. Tomahawks shared a lot of interesting information about their team. It's great to have. That ball's hit to center field. He tracks it. Here comes Bud on his way home, just in time to score. So an RBI for Ryan Hamilton.
comes the movie. Burn through a pencil. What's his name right here?
This is Raytheon Francisco. Fouls that off. That's outside. Tomahawks pick up 2 so far this top half of the inning. That's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So the Tomahawks start off fast, picking up 2 runs in the top of the first inning. We'll take a short break and come back with Wanis Roofing closing out the end of the first. We'll be right back.
You're a true friend. You make everybody feel important. You show up through thick and thin. I'm Jay Rickstrew with Alpine Bank. At Alpine Bank, when you walk into a branch, you'll be greeted with friendly hello and with a warm smile. Because the best way to build trust is by caring. We care about our customers, our employees, and our communities. We care about you.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Pueblo, Colorado at the 2026 22nd Annual Joe Santos Memorial Fastball Tournament. We're in the bottom half of the first inning with Wanis Roofing up to bat. Top of the first, Tomahawks put up 2 runs quickly. Now Wanis Roofing looks to answer back. Wanis Roofing out of Pueblo, Colorado. And that's Diego Valverde hitting that ball hard, but just a little ahead of it. And no balls, 1 strike on Diego Valverde. Nice little curveball.
Bryce hit the spot.
For the
I was craving that.
pitcher is Jonathan Taya. Catching is Juan Damian Bravo. And that ball gets by Valverde for strike number 2. Another off-speed pitch, gets away from Bravo, but the speedy Valverde still caught up at 1. A strikeout for Valverde. Brings up the left fielder, Brody Blackford.
Thank you.
So ball comes in high. Pitcher number 6, Jonathan Taya.
I remember him too from last year.
That ball is lined to the first baseman and snagged for out number 2. Ball seemed to tail on the first baseman, but he was still able to track it down. You see by the flailing of his arm, that ball had some movement on it. That brings up the pitcher, Carlos Valverde. Seems to be a little bit ahead of it.
No speed from this pitcher, but he's got him guessing.
Yeah, Jonathan Taya is not necessarily going to blow you away, but he puts a lot of spin on that ball, and that ball moves a good 4 or 5 inches off the plate. And that's popped up to the left fielder. Shortstop calls him off for out number 3. So nice play by the shortstop, Kyle Vicente. So Wanis Roofing is shut out this bottom half of the first inning. We move on to the top of the second after this short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Joe Santos Field in Pueblo, Colorado for the Joe Santos 22nd Annual Memorial Fastball Tournament. We start here in the top of the second inning. Ball high on Anthony Vidal. Ball coming in outside. Gutierrez tells his pitchers to slow down a little bit. Take your time. Oh. That ball gets Vidal on the back of the arm. Probably got a little stinger going on. So now we have the big first baseman, Eric Johnson. One ball, no strikes. Gutierrez tries to frame that outside pitch, not fooling Crabtree behind the plate. We got Richie Jimenez on the bases umpiring. That ball catches the inside corner for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike on Eric Johnson. Anthony Vidal still rubbing that elbow a tad. He's on first base. Johnson draws a walk, moves Vidal to second base. Brings up Cisco Valdez. Cisco used to run a team called the Roosters here in Pueblo.
This pitcher's gonna get everybody.
Cisco, most know him as Gallo. Graduate of Central High School. Vidal crosses home plate on a pass ball. Chris Gutierrez had a chance to get him at home, but the ball got stuck in his glove. 3 balls, no strikes for Valdez, who draws the walk. Might want to look at moving on to second. Decides not to. So Walk for Valdez. That brings up Kyle Vicente. All right. Mound visit is over. Vicente steps in the plate, wastes no time, takes a swing.
Oh, shoot.
Caught by the second baseman, Ben Aguilar, who fires it off to third, looking to try to catch Eric Johnson off the plate. That's our first out of the inning. This ball is taken into the gap by TJ Angerveen. Valdez makes his way to third. It's a stand-up double. Second of the game for TJ Angerveen. Runners on third and second. One out. And brings up the veteran catcher, Juan Damian Bravo, who hit into a fielder's choice his first at-bat. Now we switch it over to the right side. Switch hitting catcher takes the ball inside. Crabtree calls that one low. 2 balls, no strikes for Bravo. That's another line drive to Ben Aguilar. And this time he tries to catch Valdez off the base unsuccessfully, but nevertheless he's racked up 2 straight outs.
I thought it was going to hit the whole mound.
And this is Bud Pino, who took his last hit all the way to the fence with the stand-up double. Again, he's just... I don't think you want to put it in his wheelhouse. He gets a hold of that ball.
Heads up.
Oh and 1 for Bud Pino. Fouls that one off down the third baseline.
Pino. Pino Grigio. It's like fine wine.
Takes another one inside. 2-2 for Pino.
Foul ball. He likes that high ball. But he's actually making contact with it.
He does. He makes good contact, even those balls up in the zone. Takes another one inside. Ball number 3. Full count, 2 outs. That's Cisco Valdez on third base. TJ Angerveen held up on second. So Bud has 2 runners in scoring position. See if he could increase that 4-0 advantage they have. And he hits a base hit past the third baseman. Valdez in to score. Angevine in to score. And Pino slides into second safely. So a double for Bud Pino. Also brings in 2 runs and increases that Tomahawk lead to 6. We have Ryan Hamilton. And that's hit right back up the middle. That should be enough to bring in Pino. Pino trots in for the 7th run of the game for the Tomahawks. So a single for Hamilton.
Pitcher looks tired.
Is warm out there. As Chris Gutierrez tries to
Begin on Northern.
calm down. If you see the bikers popping wheelies down Northern, again, that's a normal thing as well. Illegal, but still normal. Ball inside. We had an accident out in center field on Northern Avenue last night. Hopefully we don't see another one, but I would not be surprised. So the right fielder, Raytheon Francisco, struck out his first at-bat, has a 2-0 count, 3-0. Hamilton goes to Gutierrez, and the ill-advised throw to second. And Raytheon's coming in at home, and he gets him out.
Got him.
So Hamilton gets caught trying to take advantage of a miscue by Gutierrez. And they catch him at home for out number 3. But that's not without putting in some damage. Tomahawks put up 5 more runs and take a 7-0 lead here as we move to the bottom of the 2nd inning here at the Joe Santos Memorial Tournament. Welcome back to Joe Santos Field, where we have the Tomahawks against Wanis Roofing, who's up to bat now with Will Smith, the first baseman. Tomahawks put up 5 runs in the top of the 2nd to extend their lead to 7-0. Wanis Roofing looking to answer as their cleanup batter digs in.
side of Mizuno cleats. Pitcher. That's the first time I've seen him today.
And that's going to get over the third baseman. Will Smith picks up a single. Falls just in front of TJ Angevine. Now we have second baseman Ben Aguilar. Ben trying to convince umpire that the ball bounced and it hit him. It shouldn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter really. He still got hit by the pitch. But it's not totally a bad thing. We got 2 runners on base and now they're advancing to third and second. Smith might have. That could have hurt an ankle pretty bad at that slide on third base. Got Agustino Garcia batting. And that's lifted over the shortstop. That's going to land. Will Smith on his way in, and that ball's sailed deep, almost hitting Luciano's camera. And Agustino has a single and moves his way to second on that errant throw. So that's what Wanis Roofing was looking for. Getting some base runners and making things happen in the field.
The pitcher's shot is cash.
Shout out to Elizabeth Perez and Alicia Perez from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Elizabeth, I love you.
Okay. From Juan?
One day,
Make sure that's from you, not your boyfriend, or not a boyfriend. We're not going to get you in trouble, are we?
I didn't get the second name.
Go get it. I'll get it.
Pass ball. Agustino stays at second.
Do you want us to request a song?
Agustino still stays at second after 2 pass balls. Xavier Gallegos, third baseman, up to bat. Oh, right back up the middle. Agustino comes in to score. And Xavier Gallegos with the bullet up the middle. That nearly caught Jonathan Taya.
What do you say?
If I have enough ink in this pen. So Xavier Gallegos
I'm
picks
using
up
a
a
pencil,
single.
brother. With refillable ink, refillable lead.
This is the catcher, Chris Gutierrez. Oh, that pops up, and Taya misses it.
Oh, then he falls down.
Then Xavier falls down and throw a knuckleball to second base to get that out. Talking to the fields crew earlier, said there's quite sandy over there in first and third bases. I'm sure that's what snipered Xavier Gutierrez.
Everybody's all, they're going to have to drag the field.
Moses Aramillo, the batter.
Same pitch.
It's a ground ball to the third baseman. Valdez misthrows it.
Short arm.
And Gutierrez makes his way to third, decides to come home, and he's standing up on home, scoring the 4th run. As Wanis Roofing shows some life here at the bottom of the 2nd. It's their 4th run. And they still only have 1 out. So the momentum is looking to make a change here. And that gets by Valdez as well. Just out of reach. Uh-oh. And Jaramillo makes his way in for the run. And the speedy Diego Valverde makes his way all the way to third base. Valverde brothers are super fast. So now Juanes just down by 2. The bottom of the 2nd. Wanis Roofing has the hammer. Brody Blackford's the batter. And that's a line drive in the gap. Fielded by the center fielder. And Blackford gets himself an RBI double.
That's it for this guy. He's taking himself out. Old. Okay, replacing him. Really old.
That looks like
Number 9.
that's it for Jonathan Taya coming in to pitch.
Ray Francisco. So Ray Francisco.
We're gonna see if he does. They didn't put a number.
Yeah, he said go ahead, Ray.
So we have 9 for the DP.
So Ray Francisco's coming in for the pitcher.
Correct.
Okay.
Not the DP.
Not the DP. He's coming in for the pitcher.
You're correct. But he is,
Yeah,
Okay.
he just-
he is pitching.
That's the only thing we have.
So we have a pitching substitution. Got Ray Francisco coming in to pitch for Jonathan Taya. The designated player, Bud Pino, will still remain in the game. Ray Francisco will take over the pitching duties. So we got Carlos Valverde up to bat. Runner on second. Misses a little high. Blackburn thought about taking off to third.
This is the Achilles heel of this team.
It's fouled off. Hit deep to left field, off the fence. That's going to bring in Blackburn easily. And Carlos Valverde helping himself out with a stand-up RBI double. And just like that, Wanis Roofing ties it up with their cleanup hitter, Will Smith, up to bat. That misses outside. Swing and a miss for Smith. I'm going to have a talk with the Valverde brothers and Gutierrez about getting Will Smith maybe one size larger helmet.
It's not even protected his forehead.
No, I feel bad for him. Two balls, two strikes on the cleanup hitter, Will Smith. Will Smith full count with one out. Takes it. Ball four. Brings up the second baseman, Ben Aguilar. Aguilar was hit by a pitch his last at-bat. He did score a run. And that was this inning. Francisco Valdez off the glove. Loads the bases. Valverde on third, Will Smith on second, and Aguilar on first. We got Tino Garcia.
A lot of errors out there.
So we're a little more than halfway through the time clock. And in just one half inning, Wanis Roofing has tied up the game and still has bases loaded with one out. Swing and a miss for Tino Garcia. So Xavier Gallegos who hit a bullet up the middle in his last at-bat, right over the pitcher's head, comes here with an opportunity with bases loaded. And that's driven up the middle, and that's going to get by the center fielder. Ryan Hamilton chases it down, and Xavier Gallegos making his way to home, and he beats it out with an in the park home run. just like that, Wanis Roofing takes a 4-run lead in the bottom of the second inning. Nice hit by Xavier Gallegos. It's 2 line drive hits in the same inning. And this one's hit out to right field. It's going to be trouble. And that gets down on the right fielder. Raytheon and Francisco just can't get there in time. So Chris Gutierrez, the single, brings up Moses Jaramillo. Ground ball, the shortstop makes the play and gets the force out at second. But Wanis Roofing puts on a show in the bottom of the second inning with 11 runs scored to take the lead 11-7. We'll be back for the top of the third inning here in Pueblo, Colorado. Welcome back to the Joe Santos Memorial Fastball Tournament, where Wanis just put up 11 in the bottom of the second. And this ball's going a long way, and that's a home run. That was Raytheon Francisco with the solo home run. Didn't even have a chance to mention that we have a new pitcher in the game. We only had one pitch to introduce him, but that's Xavier Gutierrez, who switches from third base to pitcher, and Carlos Valverde moves over to third base for Xavier. Nobody wants to start a inning off giving up a home run, but Xavier picked himself up and is back in the strike zone. Earlier in the game, second baseman Ben Aguilar took a ball off the foot and tried to plead with Crabtree that he didn't get hit by a pitch because it hit the ground first. Well, he just made the same argument for Anthony Vidal. There's Eric Johnson, first baseman. Vidal moves over to second on the pass ball. Three balls, no strikes for Eric Johnson. And that's hit into the left center as well, and that's dropping in for a single. That's going to bring in Vidal. And Eric Johnson heads to second on the throw. So back and forth ball game. He's up Cisco Valdez. That's inside on Cisco. Eric Johnson. It's a ground ball. Diego Valverde looks back the runner and gets Valdez out at first for out number one. That ball gets by Gutierrez. Johnson holds at second. Sorry, third. Just Kyle Vicente. That's high on the batter. That's fouled off. 2 balls, 1 strike on Vicente. Johnson again thinks about it. Makes his way back to third. 3 balls, 1 strike. Gallegos walks the batter. So we have a leadoff batter, TJ Angevine. And Eric decides to come in, and he comes in safely. I think he felt like they were daring him to go. So Johnson comes in on a pass ball. As Crabtree's trying to find where the plate's at. There he goes. We'll take a moment here for umpire Crabtree to move some dirt around. I'd like to thank some of the sponsors here for the Joe Santos tournament. Alpine Bank, Angelus Chapel, Arriaga family, Caldwell Banker, Gil Baca, and Waste Management. That ball comes in inside. Ooh, over the head of Angevine. That almost caught the bat. That's a swing and a miss. That's high. Got
Next one will be ball 3 or 4.
And that's fouled off to make the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
These teams are like totally unenergetic.
It's a ground ball to Valverde. Catches the runner off base. So Vicente, it's thrown out at second, leaning just a little too much. So that's the second out. That brings up Juan Damian Bravo. Juan wants to send his love to New Mexico, to Elizabeth Perez. And he gave me another name, and I'm going to have to ask him who that was. I wasn't quick enough to jot it down. But Elizabeth, Juan sends his love. I think he said mwah too, something like that. What was the second name? What was the second name? The second name that you
Elizabeth.
first, the other one.
Alicia and Elizabeth.
Alicia and Elizabeth. In between pitches, Juan sends his love.
To Elizabeth. That's ball 4. That's ball 4.
And Juan draws a walk. So they did eliminate the DP.
Beamed him.
And that hits the pitcher, Ray Francisco.
They don't have a DR. This is.
My turn in here.
They don't have.
Hi guys.
He's not a substitute. He's playing.
When does Aztec play, do you know?
Aztec?
Aztec.
There's no Aztec. Bandits? 7.
At 7?
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise,
Yeah.
17 is out. Yeah, Pino's playing. He's the designated player or whatever.
No, he had just eliminated him as the DP. So Bud Pino's out. We need to move
So Bud
Franklin.
Pino is number 17 who's coaching first base
So we need to move Ray Franklin here.
to be Bud Pino.
And that eliminates the DP. And Ray Franklin is the pitcher. And Jonathan Taya has already been out.
Okay, so Bud Pino is out. Ray Franklin is in.
Yeah.
To that position in
Right.
the batting order.
Right. Hamilton, the sure-gloved shortstop of Diego Valverde. So as I try to clean up this scorebook, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back for the bottom half of the third inning. Back here, Joe Santos Field in Pueblo, Colorado, for the 22nd annual Joe Santos Memorial Fastball Tournament. We start off the top of the lineup, the bottom of the third inning. This is Diego Valverde. Diego, who fielded the last ground ball to end top half of the third, comes up to bat, nursing a one-run lead. They came all the way back and scored 11 to take the lead 11-7 last inning. But Tomahawk put up 3 runs to get within 1 run. We got about 13 and a half minutes remaining in this. And Diego takes a stab at that. Valdez
Oh, look what I found.
giggles at that one, falls in his glove.
Literally.
So Valverde flies out to Valdez for out number 1. We got Brody Blackford, who had a double his last at bat. Ball comes in high. Three balls, no strikes. Brody Blackburn.
So sad.
Blackburn agrees. That caught the outside corner. Trained ball player tends not to pull the trigger on a 3-0 count when a pitcher is struggling in the zone. And there he goes. He draws a walk. And that brings up the elder Valverde brother, Carlos. Carlos catches that at the end of the bat. The shortstop, Kyle Vicente, gets under that for out number 2. Just heard Juan Damian Bravo taunting Brody Blackburn on first base that he won't steal, and he didn't. He won't steal on a 57-year-old, he says. I'm thinking Brody might say, want to bet? The problem, man, he's got big Ryan Johnson in front of him, kind of blocking his view. There he is. I saw the sign. We're going to have a pickoff player here at first, potentially. Strike called. Will Smith, the batter. 3-1 count. Watches strike 2 go by. 3-2 count, 2 outs. Blackburn should be moving on the pitch. There he goes. Draws the walk. Blackburn. Second. Brings up the second baseman, Ben Aguilar. Ball's a bit low. Aguilar takes strike 1. Swing and a miss for Aguilar. Ball gets by Bravo. Blackford and Smith advance bases. 1 ball, 2 strikes for second baseman Ben Aguilar. That's a ground ball back up the middle. And he makes the play. Ray Francisco with the super athletic play. Drops down on his back. Still makes the play. And a good throw for out number 3. So we will take a short break and come back with the top of the 4th inning here at Joe Santos Field. We're back here in Pueblo, Colorado at Joe Santos Field for the 22nd annual Joe Santos Memorial Fast Pitch Tournament. Got Raytheon Francisco, who his last at bat had a home run. It's a bit outside. Still have Xavier Gallegos on the mound. The Valverde brothers on the left side on the infield. And Chris Gutierrez catching Xavier Gallegos. That's popped up to the left side. Diego Valverde. Both of the Valverde brothers have really good gloves, and they could track a ball down just about anywhere. So we have Anthony Vidal up to bat. Anthony's been hit by a pitch 2 times in a row. Next one he's charging the mound, says Jeff. And that's a ground ball to Valverde. And just as I give him props for the glove that he has, he lets one get by. Diego, this really bothers me to have to write down an E6. Got big Aaron Johnson, and Vidal wastes no time taking off to second. So we've got 3.5 minutes left on the time clock. Home team is out on the field with Wanis Roofing. And Tomahawks are looking to get at least one to keep this game going. That's fouled off down the third baseline. I was kind of hoping to see a little more enthusiasm with such a tight game. One run ties this up, and we move on to the next inning. The crowd is kind of quiet. Teams are kind of quiet. Although they have been out in the sun for at least the past 80 minutes or so. And that's fouled off the backstop. Two minutes. Oh, that's the wrong sport. Johnson takes that pitch. And Vidal, the one showing some enthusiasm as he's made his way to third base in this game. Has the tying run on third base and the go-ahead run on first base with Cisco Valdez batting. As he calls for Vidal. Vidal just wasn't ready for that time. Eric Johnson moves over to second on that. And he is going. And he got him at home. Great play by Chris Gutierrez. Popping up and tracking down that pass ball. Gets it to Gallegos, who makes the tying run saves the tying run from coming in.
What's the count?
We got
Count?
We had a strike on the last pitch, right?
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
Fine, gotta wait for me, fellas. I'm ugly and I can't afford to get hit again.
so I have 2 outs.
Yeah, there's two. I didn't put it up.
Okay. The fly out by Francisco and Anthony Vidal got at home, but there's still some pressure. And that's a foul ball by Cisco Valdez. Eric Johnson on third base with 2 outs. The tying run. Time has expired. Xavier Gallegos ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes against Cisco Valdez. That is outside. Two balls, 2 strikes on Cisco Valdez. Cisco protecting the plate. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there is 2 outs. Oh. Chris Gutierrez almost catches. Catching Eric Johnson leaning a bit. Got a full count. A walk doesn't kill you, but a base hit can. And that's a foul ball.
Number 7's height almost got him out over there.
I mean, obviously you'd much rather have a strikeout, but a walk kind of gives you an opportunity for the next batter to hit first or second and not have to worry about the runner on third. Nevertheless, you shouldn't be worrying about the runner on third here. And here he comes to tie the game. ties the game on the walk pass ball. Good heads-up play by Eric Johnson. So now the winning run is on first base. This is Kyle Vicente up to bat. That's down, gets by Chris Gutierrez as Valdez moves to second. Chris Gutierrez running all over the place. Lots of pass balls here. But he still has the optimistic advice of, come on, have some fun. And that's called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike on Vicente. Xavier Gallegos on the mound. 3-1 pitch, and that's taken foul. So we have us another full count, 2 outs. Time has expired. The winning run is on second base. That's Cisco Valdez. Kyle Vicente, the bat in his hands, takes that inside. So TJ Angevine, the leadoff hitter, looking for a walk-off victory. A base hit could do that. That ball comes in high and inside. Gallegos with the pitch. Got 1 ball, no strikes. Angevine takes a hack at it, fouls it off, evens the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. Gallegos looking to work his way out of this half inning to give his team opportunity to put some more on the board, get that lead back. And that's in the dirt. Nice play by Chris Gutierrez. Two balls, 1 strike on Angevine. He fouls that off for strike number 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. That misses away. So here we are. Another full count for Xavier Gallegos. And he misses that low. This is the runner's advance. So TJ draws a walk. Cisco to third, Kyle Vicente to second. There's no room for the veteran, Juan Damian Bravo. I don't think he would want anybody else with the bat right now. The switch hitting catcher, 57 years old, he tells us. Gutierrez gives the Gallegos some advice here. 2 balls, no strikes, no room for Bravo. A walk wins the game for Tomahawk. Valdez probably smart to stay on third base and give Bravo either the opportunity to get a base hit or take a walk. It's a 3-0 count. This pitch could decide the game. And Gallegos misses it high. And once Valdez touches home plate,
They're the visiting team.
oh, excuse me, they're the visitors. We still have another half. I've been saying this all wrong. Done that twice today, dang it.
Still. I would just be taking every pitch possible.
So this is Ray Francisco, the pitcher. My apologies to anyone listening out there. I had the wrong home team. Francisco has taken 2 straight balls. And that one lines up for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike for Franklin. Francisco. That's in the dirt. Runners all hold. Looks like a hit. Francisco. So Vidal comes in on the walk. Oh, I'm sorry, not Vidal. That's Vicente.
Okay. Re-entering pitching.
So Gallegos switches out with Valverde. Valverde, the original starting pitcher, comes back in to try to shut things down with bases loaded and 2 outs. Wanis Roofing is the home team. We have Ryan Hamilton up to bat. Strike called for Hamilton. Angelvine thinks about it. That ball is inside.
We're really behind.
Really?
Red Leaf and Crazy Horse are next.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Ryan Hamilton. Full count on Hamilton. Full count, runners will be moving. 13-11, Tomahawks ahead. And that is another walk. So Hamilton draws a walk. Raytheon Francisco has a home run and flew out the shortstop his last at bat. No balls, one strike. And that is fouled off the backstop. It's a base hit to left field. So the pitcher catches a tough tag at third base, but he's called safe. Raytheon gets himself another base hit. And then Anthony Vidal flies out to the pitcher. We'll come back the bottom half of this inning, 15-11 in favor of Tomahawk. Welcome back to this extended inning fastball game between Tomahawk and Wanis Roofing. This game has gone back and forth. I think they have counted 47 lead changes. Anyhow, Wanis Roofing comes in with Augustino Garcia needing 4 to tie, 5 to win. And that goes right off of Francisco's head as he laughs it off. Yes. Garcia is safe at first. Immediately smiled as soon as that hit him. So that's a good sign that Francisco is okay. We're going to bookmark that so Mr. Francisco could see that after the game. Comic relief here. Gallegos takes that outside pitch as a strike. Gallegos has had 2 line drives up the middle. As Gutierrez gingerly walks behind home plate. Ball is high. Ball's just a little up. balls. That's ball. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Ball was so slow it hit him and it stayed on for a second and then fell off. Thank you.
And that's a base hit on the right side. And Wanis has something going with Agustino Garcia on third base and a base hit single for ex Gallegos. Here, Chris Gutierrez up to bat. Swing and a miss for Gutierrez. Ball's outside. Whew. That just misses corner of the plate. As his teammates tell him, take it off the belly. Three balls, 1 strike. Full count for Chris Peanut Gutierrez. Fouls that off of Bravo. That didn't feel good. So ball 4. Peanut draws a walk. Still no outs. Wanis Roofing down by 4.
Here it comes.
Agustino comes in, picking up a run. Ex-Gallegos moves to third. Gutierrez to second. And Moses Jaramillo at the plate. With 1 ball. Swing and a miss.
Hold on. Hey, what's up, Carl?
Swing and a miss for Jaramillo. Jaramillo goes down swinging for out number 1. That brings up the top of the lineup, Diego Valverde. Goes outside. Out ball loosely hit to the shortstop for out number 2. Brody Blackford, batter. And that's fly ball to the center fielder, Ryan Hamilton. So final score, Wanis Roofing 12, and the Comeback Kids of Tomahawk win 15-12. We're going to take a break for a game. We'll come back here in another hour or so.